Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Temur Eldrazi Ramp on the play for game one. This one's a bit interesting. One green source makes this a whole lot better. If we can find a green source or an E-temp, that'd be splendid. Should be 11 plus, what, 9? Or 11 plus 4, so 15 hits off top. We'll pass. I say pass. And then hold. Island, passing, draw. K command, Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. The second K command definitely enables me to use this first one, or encourages me to. Again, an E-temp off top would be ideal. Basic Island Pass is interesting though. Polluted Delta. Probably gonna counterspell here. Let's see the K command, X equals 1 then. See if they counter it. Ideally we at least drawn to a land, so that way I can play the Myco. Maybe fix our mana problem. The Delta fetch. Watery Grave Shock, 17. And Counterspell. Counterspell's fine. Draw. Cyrus, 7 deaths. I'm gonna fire off the K command, try and find a land here for a land drop. That is very unfortunate, so this is a force check now. Force check. Definitely a desperation play. Let's see if they notice that. There's the force. Pitch of the spell snare. We pass. No lands. Yeah, I mean, we have 15 hits and we just found nothing across, what, 2, 3? 2 draws? So. Oh. That's brutal. Green source, please. Nope, no green source. We are just whiffing. Was it just 15? I mean, any land would have done at that point. Yeah, we could have drawn into any land. We would have been fine. I think we're running 23. 2 of them tapped. Oof, bit late, friend. Bit late. Thought Scour. So looking like it is Oculus. Probably Esper Oc. With Pest Control main. Well, we play the numbers. The numbers played us. Yeah, because I guess our ideal draws were either Temple or Forest, which was, I think, 15 at that point. After that, after 15, yeah, this is looking good. 5, 7, 9, 9 down to 7. Even if I were to cast a Myco Spawn at that point, there's nothing we can do. I'm going to concede here. Unfortunate start. So this is Oculus. Lost for game 1. Let's move to game 2. Oofda. Alright, so for Ock, I want Grafdigger's Cage, Dismember, and even a K return would be good. Escape Battlemage could be decent, but isn't entirely necessary. We cut Gemstone, we cut Ghost Quarter, we can cut 2 7-mana value spells. I'm going to say Ugin is pretty rough here, so cut 2. We do like Chrysalis, though, in this matchup. So there's a thought of dropping a Rumble and maybe the K return. Like, we don't need all 4. So cut the K return, cut the Rumble, keep the Chrysalis, run it back like this. Seems decent. Alright. Opponent's going to be bringing in Consign to Memory. Not sure what else. Might just be the Consigns and more Harbingers if they aren't already playing a set in main. I think they normally don't. They run like maybe 2, 3. The Cage will be good though for Ock. Cuts off the Unearthed lines. On the play, what do we want to cut? I guess a Chrysalis at that point. Yeah. Cutting one Chrysalis is pretty tolerable, though. We'll just hope for some better draws. Because, yeah, like I said, I think 15 was the number, which was ideal. But after that, we had, like, pretty much every land. We had 2 out of the 23, the 21 minus 2, 19. So we had 19 hits, and we just whiffed across, what, 3 draws. So that's Graph Diggers on 1, but then nothing else really thereafter. Our hits off top, I mean, a second land, of course. Pretty much any land would do. We're at 21, 20, and then 1, 2 tapped lands, 18 hits. I'm gonna mulligan here. Not much better. What in the world? Yeesh. I mean, I think we have to go down to 5. Alright, that's better. I mean, Windswept Heath, fetch green, probably pitch the K return, pitch a Chrysalis, pass. Yeah. So Windswept Heath, opponent goes down to 4 cards. Apparently they're just having as many issues as we did. So yeah, thinking Windswept Heath, E-Temp, Rumble. Pass. Put a pause on end step. Order Grave Shock. Thoughtseize. Target Rumble. No Thoughtseize. Could be a Spell Snare then. We'll grab a Forest. Draw. Graph Digger's Cage. Oh, let's see if they have the Spell Snare. No Spell Snare, there's Curiosity, there's Sprawl, there's Chrysalis. None of these are great. Really was looking for a red source, so instead we'll go Utopia Sprawl, I'm thinking. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we'll play Cage. This way, if we draw another green source, we can play the Sprawl. Let's see if this eats a Consign. I wouldn't be against that at all, but another green source would be nice. That way we can Sprawl into Chrysalis. Otherwise, we just go Sanctum Pass, unless we draw into some action. 2, draw, Lab, Sanctum, Sprawl. Does it resolve? Red, pass. We can play the Chrysalis next turn, even through a Harbinger. So they fetch 4 Swamp here. We know that what they're playing, but that'll mean shields are down, and we can just play Chrysalis. Thought Scour, Ketramos into Yard, but Ketramos can't be grabbed back by Unearth. Meticulous Archive. Pest Control is an option. Unearth the Grave. I feel like they would have put that on top if they had Pest Control, though. Undercity Sewers. Surveil. Kind of want to see a Myco spawn here. Talisman. Lab Trigger. No Imprint. Talisman. Paying cost. Fine by me. I don't know why you would counter that. I guess because then I would have colorless through a Harbinger. Maybe that's the thought process. We'll hold. Paying cost for Oculus. Yep, that's an Oc. I guess it could be a Murktide, admittedly. It is an Oc. I would love to see a K command off top. Dismember. Ugin, Emrakul, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I guess we're short one on Emrakul, actually. Chrysalis, oh not Chrysalis, Megaspawn, you're a turn late, friend. Let's go after your white source. And given that you didn't put any into yard, or any on the field, I'm gonna guess you're trying to fill the yard, so we're gonna Bojuka Bug you. No, thank you. We'll pass. And hold. So no Ketramos. Okay, I guess now if you have another white source, and heal Spell Bomb. We'll take Emrakul offline. Fetch Marsh Flats. 16, Swamp. You heal Spell Bomb, tap the Swamp, hold up blue source. Probably for Consign if I had to guess. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Holding back. Draw, trigger. Fill. Yeah, so they have to have an Ock. We could force check here. Dismember. There's force, consign, pass. I'm kind of fine with that. 5 in yard, pass. I guess I should hold. 2, cycle on earth. 6 in yard, so they have the Ock. Then they'll be able to play it next turn. Flooded Strand passing. No attack? No, attacking this time. 2 in hand. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they have an Ock that they're trying to play here. Sowing Mycospawn, kick again. Kick your Watery Grave. Hold black. Push? We'll go Commercial District. Jesus, all the names. K command on top. That's solid. Go to combat. Down to 11. Fetch Flooded Strand. Old Fountain tapped. And then they'll have 2 Oculus, I imagine. Second card in hand. Let's see if I'm right about the Ock. Frog, 1 in hand. Okay. You do have to be a bit careful here. Oh, hold on. How does Manifest Dread read? Yeah, how does Manifest Dread read? Does Grafdigger's Cage stop it? Hold phone. I was trying to think, like, why are they just putting cards in a yard? Oculus. Abhorrent. Look at the top 2 cards of the library, put 1 on the battlefield face down as a 2/2. Oh, because it's from the library. Oh. Is that right? That's fascinating. Okay. Draw. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we could K command exile Ock. They have 1 card in hand. Could be a consign. I mean, we could just go for it. Could exile the Ock. Could Sanctum for Emrakul. 2. Basically, this is neutral. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wouldn't have the Emrakul. So I'm thinking we exile the Ock and ramp. So ramp, exile. X equals 6. Trigger. And Bone scoops it up. Alright, so win for game 2, on to game 3. Yeah, I want to look at this real quick. It doesn't say, but I guess because it's putting a creature, it's a creature, a manifest creature. Creature cards in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Yeah, I guess it comes in as a creature, so Grafdigger's Cage stops it. I didn't realize that, I'll be completely honest. Huh, okay, learn something new every day. We'll cut a Chrysalis. I want 9 7-mana value spells. Yeah, this seems good. Man, looking at my stats for Final Fantasy, and my game 3s are abysmal. I don't know why. Huh. So we have 4 15 hits. 15 hits, and we can cycle the K command on 1. Yeah, fine, I'll keep. Yeah, so I think depending on what we draw, we cycle the K command. We draw into a Talisman or into a green source, we're fine. If not, we cycle the K command immediately. Draw. Okay, so this opens up more lines. We can add an additional 8. I still think I cycle the K command, though. Wait until they fetch, however. Don't want to eat a spell snare if I can help it. So let's do this. And done. And that's why we wanted to do that. So another 7-mana value spell would be 8 hits off the top. Blue, black, frog, no force. Alright, Temple, 7-mana value spell, 12 hits, go. E-temp, perfect. We're going to force check, ramp and exile. Actually, do you want to ramp exile? Do you want to scry draw exile? I'm tempted to scry draw exile here, honestly. But for the possibility of there being a Harbinger, I want to ramp exile. Force check, no force, pass and hold. 3 cards in hand is solid for me. Another frog. Could have a consign. So I'll wait till end step, see if they fetch. Another lab. Trigger. And hold. No attacks. End step. Okay, so they do have a consign then. That's what that tells me. I'll snap block here. End step, Thought Scour, second main phase, there's Arc. End step. See, I want to fight over the K command, but not worth me doing so right now. Another Rumble, Oofda. Done. Hold the K command. They'll fetch now since they're still holding up a blue source. I desperately need a green source. Again, we have 11 hits off top. Not including talismans, so 15 there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, again, I will block. Heal Spell Bomb. Yeah, they're holding counter magic. 2, 4, 5, 6. So now I need a land. Heal spell bomb. Tap sewers. Exile yard. They draw 4, 5. I think I still hold here. I don't want to get hit, but I know for a fact they're holding counter magic. There's no way they're not. I will cast this now, however, in a vain attempt to resolve it. And it'll be drawn to a land. And there's the counter spell. They could still be holding the consign. Would love to see a Cavernous Souls. Chrysalis. What is... Do I not have green sources in my deck? What is happening right now? Like, I'm not joking. What is happening? We'll hold in case they play a Harbinger. Maybe I should have Scry drawed earlier. Jesus. Draw? Cage? Sure, I'll play the cage. Does it get countered? No. That's wild. I mean, we have 11 hits, if I'm not mistaken, not including Cavernous Souls, but that wouldn't apply here. 15 we include Talismans. And yet we are somehow whiffing hard. They must have just nothing but 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 4, 6. Oofda, man. Fetch Flooded Strand, Surveil, nope, Regrave tapped. Pass. What in the world? Attack, hit. Surprised they didn't pitch. They also should have pitched the frog last turn. Water Grave Shock. Ifroge. Draw. I mean, about time, but also, I mean, nothing's resolving here. Just like point blank statement, nothing's resolving. So we could attempt the Sire. Rumble. Spell Snare. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think hitting Emrakul here really isn't going to be worth my while. Down to 12, 8 in hand, down to 7 hand. Rumble number 2. Again, we're just trying to eat counter magic here. We'll hold the K command. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The Delta fetch. Swamp sounds like a Harbinger's on the way. Pest control cycle. Begin combat. K command. X equals 3. And done. Is that just trying to chew through all their counter magic at this point? Consign, we'll eat it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9. I mean, they have lethal on board. There's the Harbinger. Yep. Thoughtseize takes the Rumble. Guess you could take the Emrakul. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're short. Talisman gets me to Chrysalis. We would need a Talisman though. 4 hits off the top. Actually, no, it's only 2 hits off the top. Another green source, or another 4 specifically, gets me to Sprawl. I guess any Talisman gets me to Chrysalis. Yeah, so 4 plus 2, 6. 6 hits, K return. K return doesn't cut it since we have no red source. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We'll concede. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 5, 4, 9. Yep. Nothing we can do. Yeah, that was brutal. I'm not sure what was up with the variance there, but we just were not finding our green sources whatsoever. But sometimes that happens. You play the numbers, and sometimes the numbers play you. We'll be back for match 2. Alright, and we're back for match 2 on the play for game 1. Let's take a look. Mulligan. Okay, seriously, what's happening? I'm literally going to look at my deck. I mean, I guess I should be able to do two. So next time I find a fetch. 7 hits off the top here for K command. I'll keep. Drop an Ugin, though it then cuts off the potential for another lab, so drop a Chrysalis. Alright. Yeah, so we have 7 off of Soul Lands, 11 off of green sources, so 18 hits, plus an additional 4 from Talismans, so 22 hits off top. Let's see it. Draw. Breeding Pool Shock. Okay. Cast Rumble. Rumble resolves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To be honest, none of this is fantastic. We can't cast Chrysalis as is. We can't cast Sire as is. We have a land next turn, and then a K command X equals 3, so I think we go for a basic forest since we already have access to blue. Go forest. I guess we could have went with the Talisman. Gives us a permanent ramp instead. Actually, that may have not been the worst idea in all reality. Yeah, so probably would have been right to do so, since that got Galvanic Blasted. See, on one hand, maybe the Talisman would have been right, because then we got at 4, 5, X equals 3 still. Now we have an X equals 2, so we still have an Ugin on turn 4. It's not bad. 2 Cleansing Wildfire. Never mind then. Cleansing Wildfire. Galvanic Blast. Oh. Well, not going for the Talisman may have just killed me. Because we had the Talisman, we could still K command X equals 2. Paying cost and Excuse me? What? Draw? Wooded Foothills. Pass. Soul Artifact, Galvanic Blast, or Cleansing Wildfire. What am I playing against? I do not know. Temur resolves. End step. Fetch Wooded Foothill. Surveil trigger. E-temp top. Draw. K command online. They can't metallic rebuke. It would have to be a consign or a force. So ramp, exile, Darksteel Citadel. Maybe hold up 2 in case of a spell pierce? That would be my next thought. Alright, it resolves. We have another K command in case they try and flip the Tameo. Attack with Tameo, that resolves. 2 up. Draws. Urza Saga, trigger. Pass. Draw. K return. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess we could hold up E-temp for 0. Or K command for 0, rather. That might be right. Ugin, target Tameo. Ugin plus. And hold K command, because it's instant speed removal at that point. Pretty much reads pay 2. So they're going to make a construct. Okay. Draw. Sprawl plus. Trigger Bog. Misty Rain. Sprawl. For red. And we have lethal on board. Construct number 1. I'm going to see if they make a construct before they search. Perfect. That resolves. K return. Trigger, no targets. And Bone scoops it up. Soul artifacts? I'm gonna classify it as that, but I do not know what I'm playing against. Regardless, it's the Saga deck, so we bring in Wastegate Battle Mage. That much is clear. Dismember. You want Ghost Corridor? I imagine they play Emery, so I want to keep the Bajuka Bog. We want World Breaker. Null Drifter triggers the K return. Do we want the K return though? I'm not entirely certain. And then cut 2. So maybe cut to Ugin. And they're going to be bringing in Consign. That much is clear to me. They probably have a Pithy Needle as well. So Ugin cut seems reasonable. Yeah, let's run it like this. Fascinating. Because I imagine Metallic Rebuke, Emery, Tameo, Saga. This looks decent. We'll keep. We'll pass. Forest, Sprawl Red. Mountain. Cleansing Wildfire scares me a bit. Because I think it can hit any land, basic or non-basic. We'll pass. Do Cleansing Wildfire me. Saga trigger. Yep. Forest, which means I can't Wastegate next turn unless I draw into a 7-mana value spell. So we have, I think, 9 hits off top. Draw. Rumble with. So in that case, I will Forest, Rumble. And I think we still Rumble here. Go Digging. Sprawl's mana neutral as much as I would like the Commercial District. Go Sprawl and pass. So we have 4, 3, 3, Wastegate, yeah. Unless they Cleansing Wildfire me again. Steam Vent Shock. And passing? No. Paying cost for Tameo. Okay. Mox Amber, so they can still make a construct then. Paying cost for... Jesus. I'll just do it so we can shuffle. We still have the 3 needed for the Wastegate. Paying cost for blue. Blue. Huh. They have Consign. Draw. Sire. Imprint. Talisman. Sprawl. For red. Kick. Target. Saga. Pass. Saga down. Next, we can get rid of the Tameo. Pass. Four types in Yard, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We actually do have Emrakul, not next turn, but the turn after, which is interesting to me. They didn't have Consign. So what else did they have in hand? What was blue? A second Tameo? Harbinger. That's rough, though. We only have one colorless source. So we'd like a Dismember, I suppose. Either that or, I suppose, Mycospawn, Chrysalis. Chrysalis would be good. Sire is not, however. We'll hold. No point in attacking right now. They still have access to blue, red, and blue. They'll attack with Tameo again. They can flip Tameo, grab back Cleansing Wildfire. Is that the thought process here? Is that the deck? Huh. Harbinger, Tameo, Saga, Wildfire. Do you flip the Tameo? Looks like they are flipping the Tameo. Yep, Tameo flipped the plus. So what I need now is a Talisman. Talisman, even a Chrysalis would work. Talisman or Chrysalis. Mycospawn also will work, because we can Bojuka Bog. Because what they're wanting to go after is the Cleansing Wildfire. That much is clear. So Bojuka Bog. Oh, son of a bitch. Right. Yeah, I forgot about that. I suppose it doesn't technically matter, but yeah. Yeah. Forgot about that. Like, well, Bojuka Bog, I need to grab that. No, Tameo. Tameo's a thing. And I guess it's better for me not to grab a Soul Land in that case. I'll grab Cleansing Wildfire, but then that allows me to tank in with both Wastegate and Mycospawn at Tameo. But they also have a decent amount of mana available to them. Green, red, blue. Why not hit the... I guess you can't hit the Myco. You only have 2 artifacts. So this leaves the Myco. Minus Tameo, Cleansing Wildfire, plus Tameo. I mean, then we'll still attack Tameo then. Draw. Rumble. Keep the red. Use the blue. Wastegate Battle Mage is intriguing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Blue, red, colorless. Colorless, we could bounce the Harbinger for what it's worth. Have we played a land this turn? We have not played a land. So we have a K command as well. Ooh, that's intriguing. I'll grab the Misty. Play the Misty. Main K command equals 2 right now, versus I could go for it and try and exile the Harbinger. Yeah, I think we go for it. Attempt to ramp exile. It resolves. That's actually shocking. Go to combat. 6 cards in yard. I kind of wish this was Sanctum or Temple. Maybe Sanctum would have been the better bet. Scouting Tarn fetch. Steam Vent Shock. Snapcast targets. Cleansing Wildfire. Okay, so basically just because it still has timing restrictions, sorcery. They're just using it as a blocker. Blue, red. Friend, you can't do that. The timing restriction's still a thing. Yeah, it's not an instant. So I want to say that's a misplay. Trigger becomes a 2/3. I imagine you block. Yep. Snappy down. Hold up K command, X equals 1, in case they want to grab back the wildfire. And hold. Otherwise, we have Cyrus 7 Deaths next turn. Saga trigger. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could also go for World Breaker, theoretically. Plus Temur or minus. Saga. Snapcast. Snapcast target wildfire. In response. Oh, that's incorrect. I want to exile from yard. And done. 1, 2. Done. No snappy for you. If you want to do that, you need to minus your Tameo. Otherwise, no fun allowed. Paying cost. Boom. Yeah, you got it. Plus Tameo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Draw. Cavernous Souls 7. fetch. Stomping Ground Shock. Cavern Souls, name Eldrazi. For some reason I have a feeling you're going to have a hard time dealing with Sire 7 deaths. Even if you draw half your deck. Attack Temur, you'll of course block with the Snappy. Yep. Alright, time for you to deal Sire, I suppose. Saga trigger, minus Temur, draw half your deck. So boom bust. So it's basically, is it land destruction? Kind of, yeah. Yep, draw half your deck. I mean, I'm just gonna start hitting face then, right? Make it so that you don't have enough life to actually attack the Sire. Relic. Okay. It is a 5/5. I suppose you'll be able to make a 6/6 into a 7/7 next turn. Still not enough to deal with the Sire. You'll need them to be 8/8s. Well, I imagine you have to have more artifacts. Galvanic Blast. You'll go down to 1? Oh, that's wild. If I draw into a K command, I win? K command or dismember? Yeah? Bold move, Cotton. Draw. Exile, scry draw. Scry draw, exile, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Force check. Like I said, bold move, Cotton. See if the strategy pays off. And Bone scoops it up. We'll take the one. Alright. Solid win against... I'm gonna put it under control. Like artifact control. It's not affinity. It was cleansing wildfire, boom bust. It was weird. It was weird is what it was. But fun match regardless. We'll be back for match 3. Alright, we're back for match 3 on the play for game 1. Let's take a look. Yeah. This hand does nothing. We'll mulligan. This hand's not much better. What is going on today? Maybe just haven't played the deck in a hot minute? But like, why does it feel like the mana base is off? Weird. Mulligan again? I mean, what are our hits off top here? There ain't much. Yeah. No green. What is going on? No green sources. I mean, 11 hits off top. I'm gonna keep it. Pitch to lab? Or pitch to the gemstone? Yeah. Funny enough, I wish I was on the draw now. Yeah. Keep it like this. I'd love to see a green source off top, of course. Hell, I'll take a talisman. So 11, 15, 15 hits. Misty Rainforest, pass, draw. Alright, so green source, talisman, or K command. That gives us 15, 19 hits off the top. Hedge Maze, Trigger. Is this Neobrand? Trying to remember what Cookie played in the past. I've definitely played against Cookie. Yeah, it's Neobrand. Son of a... I'm in danger. Uh-huh. Do you have it? Uh-huh. Yeah. Galta. Uh-huh. Do you have the Xenagos or the Pact? Pact for Xenagos? Obnoxious. That is what that is. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Not much I can do about that. So, Neobrand lost for game 1. In that case, let's go to sideboard. We bring in Grafdigger's Cage, Dismember, Flute. Trinosphere feels a bit slow. K return is an absolute dud. Cut to Ugin, Gemstone, Bog. Actually, Bog has some relevance against Hooting Mandrills. So instead, we want to cut the Ghost Corridor because the Ghost Corridor can be valuable if they played a basic. Because then we can Ghost Corridor the basic and normally they just fail to find. Cut a Rumble. I mean, it's really niche. Cut a Ghost Quarter. Like, the Hooting Mandrills is more relevant than the Ghost Quarter, than the Ghost Quarters and them failing to find, I feel. Okay. Let's run it like... Actually, is Ugin better than Sire? No, let's cut Sire. Run it like this. We have 6 pieces of hate for this deck. Hopefully we have at least 1 piece in our opener. With enough lands to cast them, of course. Okay, there's Cage. We don't need to play it on 1. We can play it on 2. And it's looking like the line here. Would love a Templar Lab so it hits out the top there. That way we can K Command X2, try and go digging a bit. Chrysalis would be fine. Myco Spawn would be okay. For red. Of course they do have access to Force of Vigor, so we do need to be mindful of that fact. We'll pass. Hedge Maze, Trigger. Freyalise, getting flashbacks. Play Wooded Foothill, cast Cage. Pass, and then pause on end step. Do you have Force? No Force. Paying cost for. Or not. I wonder if they have Force, but meant to play it on my end step. Oh no, maybe they accidentally tried to play Freyalise. It's a possibility. Alright, so looking for Temple or Lab off this commercial district. Trigger. Cavernous Souls to Yard. Because, yeah, it still means we can't cast the K command. Draw. Dismember. We'll hold the Dismember. So you have a Force. Paying cost for. Generous Ent. Force Cycle. Finds a Maze. We have Dismember. Hold. That way if they play the Rider, we can at least dismember it. Hedge Maze trigger. Call to the yard. Because they're just looking for answers to the cage. And hold. Again, 8 hits off top here. Also take Rumble. Rumble would be good. Myco Spawn is also good. We'll take Myco. Thinking of whether or not we go E-Temp or if we go... Oof, Consign. Well, that's unfortunate. Pass in full. Five in hand. Yeah, because they play, I think, Consign main, too. Brutal. Paying cost for... Ent. Hedge Maze. Trigger. Alright, still have 8 hits off top. I'll take, say, 12 for Chrysalis. 15 for their Myco Spawn. Draw. Bog. I'll take Hooting Mandrills offline. We'll hold. This is rather anemic. 5 in hand. Beseiju. Force of Vigor. All those are options for them. I said, at least I took out Hooting Mandrills, so a positive. Passing. Draw. Inverting Cat. Gotta be joking me. I mean, we're one land away from playing the World Breaker. We have Force. Paying cost. Uh-oh. Well, good news, bad news. Good news, we can play World Breaker next turn. Bad news, I think I just lose. We'll go Breeding Pool tapped. Because we don't have access to blue right now. Okay. I mean, there's no way they don't have everything else available to them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2 off of Emrakul. So, I mean, right now we're looking at World Break, which I feel like is just not enough. Maybe we should have actually held the Breeding Pool back. Pack Trigger. Or Allosaurus Rider. Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, like, Consign a Guess can hit Ghalta, but if they go for Grizzlebrand instead, then it kind of does nothing. So, yeah. Consign's kind of has a narrow focus in this matchup. There's Rider. Exiles Nature's Claim, Planner Genesis. There's Neoform. Do you have the OTK? Grizzlebrand, you do not. Draw 7. So, there's a thought. If they don't have another land, we World Break, hit a land. They can't pay for Pact unless they have a Consign. I'm not hopeful of that working out in our favor, but certainly an option. Allosaurus Rider, land, Oofta. Paying cost for... Neoform. Ghalta. You have Xenagos. Draw 7, looking for Xenagos. Or a Pact. Trigger. Hi, Butter. Yeah, hi. What's up, bud? There's a Troxa, no Xenagos, Hooting Mandrills, and Freyalise. I mean, does taking out the Hooting Mandrills matter? Probably not. Hi, sir. Yes, hello. Yeah, I'm not thinking it does. Like, we can, but what good does that do? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I'll take out the Hooting Mandrills. I guess that way they can't neoform it, but I'm not sure that would even be relevant. Hi, sir. No, no, no playing with wires. It's not allowed. Come here. Oh. Big boy. Yes, you're a big boy. So now we're looking for a soul land off top. I'm just going to pause on end step at this point. Hi. What did they find again? Choose Consign Rider. So Consign can just hit the World Breaker regardless. Consign can also hit the Pact. Yeah, so I think that's GG's then. I don't see a way out. Sacrifices Galta, draws 13. Draws 13 butter. Can you believe it? 13 cards? That's a lot of cards. Another rider that I can't hit with Dismember. Nope, can't hit with Dismember. 11 cards left in deck. I mean, we're still not dead. But I don't foresee a way out is the problem. Fetch. Stomping Grounds tapped. And pass. Pitching what? I mean, they're going to hold the Consign. There's no way they don't. Up to 19? How did you get back up to 19? Oh, Freyalise, right. right. Discards, Hooting Mandrills, Scouting Tarn, Hooting Mandrills, Misty Rain, yeah. Draw. That cage ain't doing nothing. And the fact that we just never were able to get double colorless really hurt. Alright, well, we concede because, well, cast World Break, they can sign the body, they pay for Pact, they win? Yeah, concede. We concede. Alright, well, that's Neobrand for you. Can't do too much about that. With that said, we'll be back for match number 4. Alright, enter back for match 4 on the draw for game 1. Let's see here. 4 hits for E-Temp, another 4 for Malevolent Rumble. So let's say, whatchamacallit? I can count sometimes. 8. Yeah, we'll keep it. We'll pass. Go Misty Rainforest Sprawl. Ooh, Belcher. Okay, so I need to hit Megaspawn ASAP, so I really need that E-Temp. Okay, now we can hit... So now we can expand the number of cards we want to hit up to E-Temp and Lab for 8 hits. I'll go red. And pass. And pass. So 8 hits off the top gets me a MTGO. Or a K command X2 so we can double tap. Only problem I see here is that they're going to have a flare. So I might have to go for the MTGO to delay a turn. There's Charbelch. And draw. Ugin's Lab. So the question now is, do they have the Flare of Denial, right? I mean, we could just fire off K command right now to see. They don't have the win next turn. So yes, I will check for Flare. And done. Okay. That is promising. We'll pass. And hold. Soporific Springs, Bolt to 14. Draw. Sprawl. Kick MTGO. Get rid of their white source. The start. Do you have the whir? Yep, you have the whir. So have access to 4, 5 max, so you can't kill me at least. So yeah, right now it's 3, 5, 6. Well, I guess Tameshi could push that further. Ghost Quarter. Hit the Soporific Springs. Fails to find. Trigger. Utopia Sprawl to grave. Okay. We'll pass. So they can play the Charbelch. The main downside here is that I actually have no real good castables. And they just go land Charbelch. And then have another land as follow-up. They just win. Yeah, that's a problem. Falaji. Picks up Hydroelectric. Picks up Suppression Ray. Draw. Sire. Blue. Combat. Hold up K command X equals 3 on the off chance that they play Tameshi. Right now they have access to 5. Two, 5. There's Tameshi. If I just rip the Lotus Bloom, I think I win. 1, 2, 3, let's say. You need a flare. Done. Alright, perfect. We pass. Next turn I can World Break. Draw. Ugin Lab. Imprint. Return. And opponent concedes. Okay. So this is Belcher. Win for game 1. Let's go to sideboard. And we want Disruptor Flute, Dismember, pitch the K return, cut Sire. Debate on a Wayscape. Also, how does this read again? Can't cast spells from libraries, or can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. Trinisphere could have some utility here. They do have a decent number of free spells. I'm not sure it's entirely necessary versus Flute. Yeah, I think Flute's probably the better option here. Let's run it back like this then. Bog has its uses to get rid of, let's say, a Lotus Bloom. Ghost Quarter, of course, though we do want to play a little bit carefully with Ghost Quarter, just because they can, of course, bring in a basic. I will keep Gemstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, on 2. Kind of want Dismember, but also kind of want the K command. We'll pitch this member. Pass. Because we can Windswept Teeth for... Yeah, Windswept Teeth, fetch. Let's set up our next draw with a Commercial District. Trigger. Surveil, Dismember. Put it to top. Sprawl. For green. And pass. And pass. Lab, shock, passing, draw. Misty Rain, fetch for green. Chrysalis, do you have Consign? Best card off the top right now would be Myco Spawn or E-Temp. Consign, pass in full. Worst thing that could hit us right now is probably a Harbinger. Because yes, we can dismember it, but the Sprawl will end up dying. 2, Pelagi, short on lands maybe? Picks up Seagate or Whir? They're short on land, Seagate. If they are not, then Whir. Picks up Whir, not short on lands. There's their basic. That's important to note. Triggers. Alright, Chrysalis lands. We have K command, X equals 4 next turn if needed. If you play the Belch, I'm going to dismember Pelagi. Oh no, I guess I can't. Because right now, what you'd want if they just play the Belch would be... Trainer. Would be Flute. Picks up Suppression Ray. So they picked up Whir. Interesting. Passing. Draw. Breeding Pool, shock. Chrysalis attack. Yep, just want to see if they'd let it through. They did not. I will hold. 6 in hand. $14. We know they have the whir. Yeah, I think we fire off the K command. Trigger 1. Trigger 2. I'm gonna leave 1 back in case they have Jawari Disruption. Because it is 1, right? Yes. X equals 4. Sync. Yeah, that's pretty good. Hi, sir. No playing of flyers. No, no. No playing of flyers. If you can't behave, you'll be locked out. Alright, so I have 8 hits off Temple and Lab. There's just Flute. Now that intrigues me. Attack. Blocks. Better. I'm really gonna need you to chill, man. Alright, now it's time for you to leave. It's time for you to leave. You're very cute. But in moments where I need to think, I do not want to be playing footsie with the cat. So my thought here is that we could dismember the Falaji. I'm just going to pass. Because I'm most worried about a Flare of Denial. Second basic, 2 basics? Now, I was not expecting that, I'll be real. Draw. Ugin, bit of a dud. Chrysalis attacks. Blocks, so no more Flare. There's Whir. Four in hand. 3, 4. Belch. In response. Disruptor Flute. Consign gets you there. Any 3-mana counterspells don't. Spell Snare gets you there. Guess Disrupting Shoal would. Paying cost. Consign. Yes, I'll concede. Alrighty. So yeah, there were 3 remaining. Yeah, we got nothing. Alright. Yeah, unfortunately did not see a lot of what I needed to see. We can cut the gemstone. And I guess bring back in a 7-mana value spell. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, on the play for game 3. If I had a fetch, I'd be okay. Talisman of Curiosity, I'd be okay. K command even. I mean, 4, 8 hits if I'm really looking at it. I guess 10 for Talisman. I don't know if I can keep it. I don't think I can. Mulligan. Alright. Flute, Commercial District, Bog, Pitch Bog. Commercial District. Temple. Maybe we just go Flute on 2. World Breaker to Yard. And pass. Could have gone Wooded Foothills, fetch Breeding Pool. Draw. E-Temp. Flute. Goblin, Belcher. Pass. Next turn we can Wooded Foothills. Unfortunately, I can't Wooded Foothills Talisman's the only problem. Shock. Or Bolt, rather. Flagy. Ooh, grabs the Lotus Bloom. I mean, you only have one choice. I guess you could also just make it a 1-3, 1-4, 1-4. Lotus Bloom to exile. Yep. Draw. Well, that's fascinating. Wooded Foothills. Talisman. Breeding Pool, Shock. Do you have a flare? Lotus Bloom. And pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pass. Jawari. Passing. Draw. Chrysalis. Red, green. Red, green. Colorless. Hold up blue. Does Chrysalis resolve? Trigger resolves. And Chrysalis. Alright, we'll hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could cast the Null Drift. Or we could cast Ugin if we draw into a land. A bit worried about a Commandeer though. Trainer. Finds what? Okay, Belcher's there. Draw. Ghost Quarter. So we could play the Ugin, but we do run some risks by doing so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Trigger 1. Always yield. Trigger 2. Cast Null Drifter. Triggers. Draw 2. There's Utopia Sprawl. Go to combat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Blocks with the Thunder Trap. End step. I don't want to Ghost Quarter now because then they could whir. We don't want to let them whir. They can't win next turn. Even if they were to bounce one of the flutes, they have to bounce or find a way to bounce both. Not even sure if the Ghost Quarter is right. I wonder if maybe just holding up 2 would have been smart. Not playing the Null Drift. Maybe just evoking it. May have been correct. Because what? Bounce the Disruptor Flute with Lotus Bloom. Play the Lotus Bloom. Now you have 7. Bounce the Disruptor Flute with Belcher, but then you'd probably only have 4. I don't know. Okay. Give me a fish. Lotus Bloom. Paying cost for 3. Okay. Well, you definitely can't play the Belcher now. Lotus Bloom to exile. And clearly we need to play around a Flare Consign. Draw. Another Drifter. Go to combat. Trigger Annihilator. Okay, so Flare's offline now. Down to 5. Sprawl. Let's fake them out and go for blue. Evoke. Draw 2. Mycospawn. Trigger. Yeah, playing flute right now could just be eaten by consigns. We'll just hold. I mean, lethal's on board. They would have to find a way to play the Belcher, have enough mana to activate it, while also trying to protect from flute. That's a lot of cards that would, a lot of things that have to go right for them, and I don't think they have it. But just scoops it up, we'll take the win. Alright. The flutes are good. Yeah, being able to flash those in will always be very beneficial in these matchups. We'll be back for match 5. Alright, and we're back for match 5 on the draw for game 1. Green source goes a long way. So 11 plus 4, 15, 15, 16. L17, K command 20, sure we'll keep. I'm gonna regret this. that's what I'm hearing right now. I'm just gonna regret my decisions. Inspiring Vantage. Ooh, Hammer Time. Draw. Breeding Pool. Breeding Pool Shock. Utopia Sprawl for red. Pass. In that case, I'm thinking E-Temp into Chrysalis here. So then we can kick Myco Spawn. Paladin. Draw. In that case, I'm going to go Ugin Lab. Tuxire. Tap red green. Target for have green, red, blue. I guess go green, green, red. Not often I'm going to need double red. K return. Goodbye. Pure Steel. Pass and pass. Next turn we kick Myco. Hit Saga. Cutter. Draw. Stomping Grounds. 3, 5, 7. 7 minus 2 would be 5. So E-Temp. Kick Myco. Kick Saga. And grab, no reason, grab a Jukabog. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could grab Sanctum of Ugin. Sanctum of Ugin's not a bad idea because we'll play Sire next turn. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let's go Sanctum. And pass. And pass. Paying cost, Corey Steel. Draw. Null Drifter. So Null Drifter, draw 2. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In that case, Stomping Ground, Shock. Chrysalis. Trigger, always yield. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, trigger 1, always yield. Trigger 2. Cast Null Drift. Triggers. Draw 2. Emrakul. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll say yes. And go with World Breaker. World Breaker seems relevant here, so World Break. No. Go to combat, swing for 3. And pass. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in that case, Sprawl, Breaker. Breaker hits a Gardazade or a land? Probably it's a Gardazade, right? Paying cost, Bolt, me 13. Colossus Hammer triggers. Okay, not dead yet. 12, attack, block. That would be 7. 7 down to 6. That is correct. Though, I suppose... I mean, it's going to die regardless of the K return. In fact, I guess we could go down to 1. Not thrilled by that prospect. In that case, I think we just block with a Chrysalis, yes. Down to 6. Draw. Rumble. I will go to combat. Annihilator trigger. Sacrifices the monk. Down to 10. Utopia Sprawl on Stomping Grounds. Tap for green. Go for green. Tap for red. Green. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. Green, red. Rumble. Definitely putting Sprawl into yard. Have I played a land this turn? I have not, which means we could go Ugin Lab. So in that case, I can Ugin Lab 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So any land will do. We'll pick up the Ugin Lab though. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No. 1, 2. Oh. Well, no, this is still fine because we'll just swing the monk into it. Triggers. Will not go for the K return. Galvanic Blast. So you want to cast that after. We'll definitely play the Elegant Parlor. Go to combat. Attack with the monk. Go to blocks. Monk down. Galvanic Blast targets self. Down to 6. Parlor. Trigger. Let's see what you have on top. You playing a Bauble's fine. Put it on top. And pass. And that should be the game. Plays Bauble. Bauble targets self. And opponent scoops. Alright, we got there. Win for game 1. So we want Wastecape, Battle Mage, Dismember. Probably K return as well. Bog can get cut. Sire's good. Ugin not so much. We could cut some number of Chrysalis, but I feel like Chrysalis is pretty decent here. Other options cut some number of K return, which arguably can kind of be hit or miss. Cut a Rumble, keep a second return. You want the Ghost Quarter for the Saga. Maybe we cut a Chrysalis? Not really sold on that idea. We'll just run it like this, bring the third return if we go to game 3. The biggest thing is we absolutely need the Wastecape Battle Mage. That is non-negotiable. K command, X equals 2, Talisman on 1s, looking good. I'll keep, and missing a red source, which is the only downside here. This will be a K command, X equals 3. Soul Guide Lantern, it's nothing, draw. Null Drift, okay. Null Drift is appealing here, because it can re-trigger the K return. We'll pass in full. Saga trigger. Ink Moth. Maybe trying to set up the OTK. They're missing Sigarda's Aid. That's the biggest thing here. Draw. Okay, there's the red source we've been looking for. The question now stands, do we go hold up K command or hold up the Wooded Foothills? I think we hold up the K command. Trigger. Float. Opal. Plains. Interesting. White. Sigardazade. Sentinel. Annoying, but we can pay the 1. Opal online. Sigardazade. Is that it? That looks to be it. So the thought here is I could K command scry draw, hold up the K return, end step. I will pay the 1 for the Esper Sentinel. Trigger. Pay the 1. Prevent. Draw 2. Worldbreaker, Emrakul. You could get rid of the Sigardazade. Bottom, top and draw. And draw. Wooded Foothills. Fetch for Stomping Ground Shock. 2, 4, 5, Stomping Ground Shock. 6, 7, Worldbreaker. Get rid of the Sigardazade. You can play your hammer now, but that's fine. Not too concerned about that in the grand scheme. We'll pass. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. No attacks. And pass. Steel Shaper's Gift for Corey's Steel Cut. Cast Corey's Steel Cut. Attack for 11. We could block and mitigate some, but I don't think that's necessary here. We'll take down to 6, draw. Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 7. Sire 7 deaths, pass, no attacks, and hold. So now we can double block the Esper Sentinel. No, it's only 12 damage, so if they're able to get above 12, it would be a bit worse off. Next turn we have another Sire, though. That'll be pretty difficult for them to deal with, admittedly. Galvanic Blast could hit me for equip. Okay. Esper Sentinel, sure. Do you attack? Really? Go to blocks, block, and block. Why do that? Up to 13. You hit the sire down. Okay. Draw. Mycospawn kick. So 4. I want to hold up this K return. Kick. Hit the Ink Moth, avoid the OTK. We could go E-Temp or we could go Lab. We'll go E-Temp. I guess Lab would allow me to avoid the tax on Sentinel. No reason to worry about flyers right now, so we'll attack. Start putting some damage on board. Hold up the K return. Have 2 mana. Paying cost for Pure Steel. Resolves. And K return. No. No. Pass in full. Draw. Gemstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, 7. Threaten. Another K return. Trigger. No. And combat. Put a pause on end step. Lethal's on board. They would need 2 blockers in order to deal Sire. I think that should be the game. Good stuff. Clean win against Hammer Time. Alright. Well, we definitely started off a little bit touch and go there with E-Ramp, I'm not gonna lie. The deck felt very, for lack of a better term, foreign. Maybe it's because I've taken like such a long time away from it, to where like there are just those intricacies, right? Those quirks that the deck has, where if you just don't find green sources, sometimes you're just big sad. I do wonder if there's a way to like adjust that at all. I don't think there is though. We saw it in, and I guess we saw like whiffing on color sources in Neobrand in game 2. In I think both game 1 and 2 Oculus, missing on green sources. And then what was it, Belcher game 2 was green sources, or was that another Neobrand? I don't know. All I know is like there just sometimes we're like, man, we're gonna run the numbers and the numbers are just gonna run us. So it's very possible it just is variance, and that it felt especially bad because I just haven't played the deck in a hot minute. So that's my initial thought. But 3-2 at the end of 5 is good. I'm not sure we could have done much against Neobrand other than just draw my color sources better, right? So overall, solid league for Eldrazi ramp. The main thing that I want to consider here for the deck is probably the sideboard. And there's like, I don't know, 2 slots in the main that could be adjusted. I think you could probably or arguably cut like a Rumble, a 7 mana value spell. The question is which 7 mana value spell, and if you do cast or do cut another Rumble, what you bring in. My initial thought was like maybe run main deck Wastegate Battle Mage. It has significant impact on like 30% of the field, which is pretty good, but I don't know. I'm not sure if that is really what we want to be doing. Maybe for the RC I could see it, just because there are a ton of decks in the top 5 that get hit by it. So having access to that main could be pretty relevant. Otherwise, sideboard wise, There's a thought of whether or not to run the Grafdigger's Cage over Consigned to Memory or Soulless Jailer. Flute feels right. Wasescape feels right. Dismember feels right. Trinisphere is actually a little bit interesting. It's our only protection against Ruby Storm, realistically speaking. So I'm hesitant to cut it, but the main reason why I was introduced in the first place was for Prowess, which has more or less died as a deck. I mean, it's not like gone, but I think last time I looked it was like 3.8, maybe less of the meta. Let me take a look. I'm kind of curious now. Prowess, where are you at, bud? Last 30 days we can look at now, because I think we're just about 30 days out from the release of Final Fantasy. Let's see, where's Prowess at? 3.7, so it's still not like dead. Between that and Ruby Storm, Trinisphere still impacts like 7.4% of the meta, which is pretty relevant. You could argue it also being brought into like Belcher, Living End, which is 3.4, Neobrand, arguably. Okay, so maybe we don't cut Trinisphere then. I think maybe the main thing that I'm just not sure about the Grafdigger's Cage. Of course, there's also the discussion of whether or not to go Karn version or Karnless. Belcher's at 6.9%, Basking Brood Scale, specifically the Gruul version, at 4.1. So between those two, I mean, that's 11% of the meta that is heavily impacted by Karn. And that's not including, other decks, which some of the sideboard pieces are pretty good against, or Affinity, for example. So it does raise some questions of whether or not Karn will be good enough come the RC in Vegas. But definitely something to consider there. I mean, Burrow's Energy is still at 16.8, Zoo at 7.2. So lots of things to consider, lots of things to test. But regardless, that being said, that there will be the end of today's video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback. It would be much appreciated. For as much that I hope that you all learn from me in both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers, at which point we'll be able to start monetizing these videos, allow me to start saving up towards a streaming PC, so we're going to stream live over on Twitch. In the meantime, though, you can support me over on Patreon, where you can get early access to my YouTube videos and any updates I make to my deck guides. That being said, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye!